It was in 2007 when I first read Obama's book, The Audacity of Hope. I had tears in my eyes after hearing him speak of his vision for a better world. And I had to ask myself, what is happening to me? What world do I envision?
English teacher came in the class and asked us, what do you want to become? All people rose hands and we all had one dream, that's being a pilot. My dream now, I changed because I was young by then. Now I hope to become a senator in US. I heard about Barack Obama. I want to become like him.
I became determined to travel to the US. So I called my friend, asking him if he could help me on my quest to find hope. Being born in East Germany with a Muslim name didn't make things easier for my visit. I was glad when my friend promised to hook me up with his network of friends.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're of the same generation really as Obama and have as varied and interesting a background as Obama. And yeah, so you are a part of this wave of change.
Hope and dreams were part of our family history from the very beginning. My own history serves as a reminder how naive youthful idealism can be manipulated and squashed. As I paid respect to my grandmother, who raised me as a child, I heard her whisper, "It is time to chase the ghosts of the past out of your life." My German grandparents were both teachers during the Hitler regime. During the last battle of World War II, my grandfather died like millions of other German soldiers on the Russian front. Did they support the German dream of a Third Reich? I don't know. They were on a long march towards the West to find food and shelter somewhere. My folks were refugees and ended up in East Germany. Hope returned after the war ended when my grandmother fell in love again. She married a local man who had just returned from a Russian prison camp. They got some land and built their own house. And Stalin ruled with his iron fist over their dreams.
Yeah, so I found this picture this morning when I was looking for images of this house in my childhood. So this is me in around 1970 on the veranda of this house.
As a young girl, my mother believed in the utopian promise of a classless society and joined the Communist Party. Her pharmaceutical studies brought her to Czechoslovakia, where she met my father. He was on a scholarship to study medicine and had escaped the oppressive political system in Sudan. They dreamed about improving public health care in Africa. And I was conceived as a promise for change. Racism and bigotry became an issue when they got married. and my grandfather never showed up for their wedding. The day Russian tanks quashed the freedom fighters in Prague, my father got his degree in medicine. He realized communism was just an idea. So he left the Eastern Bloc and found work as a surgeon in Denmark. I was babysitting my brother and got worried about my father's long absences. My mother left her parents' home and decided to leave East Germany to join my father. The Honecker regime turned down all her visa applications. She was trapped inside the oppressive East German system. She was heartbroken and contemplated committing suicide. Our family reunion was destroyed by the communist regime. The revolution had destroyed its children.
Round about 2:30 local time.
After landing in LA, I decided to interview some locals to find out what they thought about change coming to their country.
Well, for me, this is all a bit crazy, switching lanes like that. People, watch out, what he's doing. He's doing it.
This is America.
All right. Do people believe in change?
People do, but at the same time, it's half and half. There are people who, they believe that this can happen. Obama has a lot of good ideas, a lot of good things that he wants to put into place. And then there's a sect of people who, the obvious, a black man is never going to be president of the United States. Go-Bama, you want drama, and it's all right here for your mama. Cause you should vote for Obama cause he's really good candidate. Folks wanna talk, man, folks wanna hate. They always wanna say he ain't black enough. Well, understand, man, I think that's why.
And so finally the realness that they can get with is a realness in politics. So they've been sold on the realness of hip hop. It's raw. It's the street. We've been poor. This is how we're getting out. This is the shit that happens. It's real.
I'm going to vote for Obama out of symbolism. Strictly symbolism.
Yeah, well, we don't need a Bush and a Bush. But I would like the Clinton to come back.
When you think about Martin Luther King and, when he, his I Have a Dream speech, I mean, this is just, it was profound. It was visionary.
I don't know enough about Senator Obama. He really comes to us in the country out of nowhere, particularly if you're going to speak of him as being African American.
Our strength isn't that we can be a bully, the strength of this country isn't that we have power over. The whole strength of this country, which is our Constitution and everything, was power with.
And then here comes this guy from out of nowhere who all of a sudden gets all this money behind him. And I think we have to ask ourselves, and I think we have to follow the money trail and ask ourselves, where is that money actually coming from?
You have a woman who is running for president and a black man. Which one is America most likely to accept? Questionable.
I'm not looking at it as it's going to be a mixed president or a white president or a black president. I'm looking forward to seeing a president that's going to be able to make right choices and sign off on the right things that's going to make this country a better country.
So you believe in the politics of change? That he is.
I do believe in the politics of change. Yes, I do.
I don't really care because at the end, God has to say so, not these people here on earth.
Who you're voting for, it's like that person's gonna solve your problems and they're so much higher than you. But in the case of Obama, it seems like he's inviting you to join with him to solve the problems in the country.
Dude, please come save us. Can we no longer be the embarrassment to the world? Can I have an intelligent leader who is going to, and dude, even if you don't do shit, just like Clinton didn't really do shit, he at least made us feel like he was doing some shit.
Even if Obama wins, the United States is run by an elite, a capitalist elite and a white supremacist elite, that he would have to carry out the policies of that elite.
I have nothing against him personally. It's that I'm just afraid that, for one thing, of them shooting him.
What I like about Obama is his idea of governance is really for the people, not for the corporations. Lord have mercy, save us from George Bush. He's an honest man like Obama. Give us a man that doesn't deny that he smokes some pot.
I hopped on a plane when I heard that Oprah was endorsing Obama, but I doubted if Oprah could bring back more votes.
She gives it to you as it is.
She gives it to you as it is. And she might put some sugar and some butter in it.
My distrust of this kind of media hype was fueled by propaganda on American TV. It reminded me of my childhood in East Germany.
And as always, power to the people, change we can believe in. Peace, y'all.
And it is my pleasure to introduce the First Lady of Television, Oprah Winfrey. I've never done this before. I've never done it before because in the past I've been disappointed by politicians. I've been inspired to believe that a new vision is possible for America. You know, Dr. King dreamed the dream. But we don't have to just dream the dream. The reason I love Barack Obama is because he speaks to the potential inside of every one of us. South Carolina, I do believe he's the one to bring us the audacity of hope. Barack Obama! It's Obama time!
We've been talking about poverty in the inner city and poor children ending up in prison instead of college. We've been talking about that for decades now. It's time we did something about it. So we're in a moment of great opportunity.
Dr. King's dream was all about transforming a dream into hope. 40 years after his murder, this hope is still connected to pain and sacrifice. I was not yet convinced of Obama's slick rhetoric. I needed to know more about his place of birth.
The face of Barack Obama is going to speak so loudly. And not afraid to say his full name. Barack Hussein Obama. It has a beautiful sound to it, doesn't it? Over 4 years ago, good friends of ours got married. One is Conrad Nick, and the other was beautiful Maya. And we went, they had a potluck wedding. It was kind of an informal wedding outside by the beach here in Honolulu, and we were very excited about this young couple. And I noticed out of the corner of my eye this very good-looking African-American guy, and just kind of noticed him. And I was quite surprised, and when he got up and was ready to speak, and he went on and he spoke so beautifully about the family and so full of love about Maya, and said, you know, in our family, We have people with a heritage from Africa, people with a heritage from Indonesia, people with a heritage from Kansas. We have Christians and Muslims, we have atheists, we have all kinds of religion backgrounds, and now we're getting a Chinese Canadian.
This is President Clinton, myself, and Congressman Abercrombie at the White House. Would you like to take a picture of Martin Luther King? We have a picture here. Come.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you think that people hold back because of his racial background, because he is basically a product of two so-called different races?
More than half the children are like mixed, so he actually, it's very easy for Hawaii to appreciate that, cross-cultural marriage.
So that would be a bonus somehow.
For Hawaii, it is a real plus. Barack's mother was an East-West Center scholar, and the East-West Center is, I said, a federal grant, federal money, and they get students from the mainland, Americans, and students from Asia and the Pacific to study about Asia. Barack's mother would have stayed in this dormitory or the other building, because those were the residence halls for students that came from Asia and the United States. They say Hawaii drivers are more polite than Los Angeles or New York. Now this is the beginning of Punahou, and we'll go inside and then outside a little bit. But so we'll just go slowly around here if you like.
Yeah.
This is the Punahou campus. It's very well known, as I mentioned. And I think his mother doesn't live too far. His grandmother doesn't live too far away from here.
He's comfortable with strong women. I jokingly sent an email to his sister and said he needs to use the F word more often. He's a feminist. He believes in social, political, and economic equality for women. And Michelle is a strong, brilliant woman. His sister is strong, thoughtful, intelligent. His mother was as well. His grandmother, who was very important in his life. Right here is where his grandmother lives. Less than a half mile is Punahou School, where he went to school.
Yeah, Amy took me yesterday.
Right.
I was there.
And then the University of Hawaii, where the East-West Center is, where his mother met both of her husbands.
Mm-hmm.
His mother was a person who I don't think even noticed race. She was completely thrilled and excited about the diversity of life. She also took Barack traveling. He traveled a great deal as a child and a young man.
Do you have a recollection that this was an important turning point in his life, that he went to Kenya and that he met the family and he befriended Ama, his sisters, and they have a strong relationship, I guess?
It's an important piece in part of how he dealt with being a black person in a community where there wasn't a strong sense of black identity, and it's a counterweight to the black American male's experience in the United States.
I got the strong feeling that Obama's multicultural upbringing was connected to the beauty and serenity of Hawaiian culture. Was this essential for his political ideas?
Look at this incredibly rich background that you have genetically, and the incredible rich background you have culturally, and the context within which all this was expressed to you as a child, what you grew up in, the atmosphere that you grew up in. Use that as a source of strength. My experience with him goes back to when he was born, because I knew his mom and dad. I knew his father at the University of Hawaii in graduate school there in the 1960s. And of course his mom met his father there at the University of Hawaii. We were graduate students, the father and I. But it's a sense of longing on my part that I wish his mother and father could be here to see this response that you speak of, which I've seen again and again. She would be glad that the values that she lived her life by manifested themselves in the way he's conducting himself as a candidate for president.
the Aloha spirit passionately embraced the wave of hope that circled around the country. I was getting worried about him being assassinated. Did I not assume that all politicians are pathetic before I even came here? Many of my American friends believe in the liberal traditions and values of their ancestors. They want to defend their freedom and constitution. Is it a longing for justice that keeps their hope alive?
The whole point of the civil rights movement was a spiritual revolution that says that we are all equal in the eyes of God. And if, in fact, we are equal in the eyes of God, then certain kinds of discrimination just can't be justified. So the civil rights wasn't the goal, it was the evidence of the fact that there would be a spiritual shift in how we were perceiving each other. It's the oppressed group that oftentimes articulates the hopes and the dreams of the best that the oppressed system says that it is there to offer. And it's no mistake that you're going to find that it's a Gandhi, that it's a Martin Luther King, that it's a Barack Obama, that it will be the one who are not heirs to the throne, so to speak, who are actually able to articulate the best what those hopes and dreams are. To say that if we're going to move forward, we have to step back for a moment and heal the wounds. But you can't heal what you don't feel. And America doesn't want to feel its pain.
This is not what America's about. It's not worth it to have America.
It is what America's about.
Yeah, but good Lord, if it is, then...
Come on, starting with native people and then bringing slaves over. I mean, when you talk about the ideals that the country was founded on, I mean, it's like Bush's policies are totally consistent with those of his forefathers. And
maybe I'm brainwashed then. I always thought that we set a standard that was a little better, that we were a little more decent.
The idea of hope being infectious was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was great. Like the first phase, it was identify as many people locally as you can who are supporting, so we can, and then start assigning different kinds of work to those people.
When you get one, the goal is 10. When you get one, you gotta ring the bell. You gotta get up. You gotta ring the bell. Cool. Everyone's gotta go. Yeah, nice job, and then you gotta fill it in.
Yeah.
It's the people who leave their comfort zones and apathy behind who participate in the caucus to select the best presidential candidates. I realized when I arrived in Iowa that this time it would affect the whole world.
Today, I've been working in the office behind me and calling potential caucus goers because here in Iowa, they're not going to a booth to cast a ballot. They are actually physically having to show up and take a stand for the candidate of their choice. The people of Iowa are really casting a vote that it's crucial, and it makes the decision for a lot of the other states. And so this is all very exciting. I flew to Iowa to be part of this, to help support the senator to get elected. I feel very strongly and clearly I'm very committed because I wouldn't be here in -1 degree weather. A lot of us have traveled from California, from Chicago, from Washington, D.C., from other states. Mm-hmm. So, we bring the diversity. lot of the youth, they're just not involved in the process. And it's because a lot of them, they just don't feel empowered. They don't feel that this system works for them. And so that's another reason why having someone like Barack in power could turn this whole thing around. It would really empower a lot of those young people.
My skeptical pessimism was shifting as I sensed a real awakening. This might be the real thing, a critical mass that transforms society and brings political change. Would this be enough to tackle the big questions of our time?
You're terrific. This has been a phenomenal experience. We would not be here in this position if it weren't for the supporters, the hard workers, the dedicated folks of Iowa. Thank
you. And that's one of the reasons that I am supporting Barack Obama, because he's really connected to the people and he has a heart. He still has family in Africa that are living in villages without running water and without indoor bathrooms. You can't relate to that unless you've experienced it. You know what I'm saying? So for someone like George Bush, he's clueless. He's so disconnected. There's no connection there.
How many people are going to be caucusing tomorrow at 6:30? How many people will be caucusing for the first time ever tomorrow at 6:30 a.m.?
Underdog candidates are often popular with the general public. 8 years of the Bush administration had drained the energy of the people.
All across the world have been credentialed for tonight.
Could a presidential candidate redeem the entire nation?
What message is it going to send to the rank-and-file Clinton donors?
Is our Western world not far too complex and globalized?
People are going crazy here. The whole journalists, everybody's talking about Obama now.
Wow.
You know, this...
That's incredible.
Yeah, so that's also good for the story that I'm doing now. It makes all sense, you know? It gets some momentum.
You're right on.
Yeah.
You're on the ball.
I'm the ball.
Yes.
I'll say it again. In Rangoon, they're putting their front page together. A guy named Barack Hussein Obama, whose father's from Kenya, who's grown up in Indonesia, a good part of his youth.
Congratulations, Senator.
First-rate education, was very successful in politics, and here he is on a victory projectile.
Thank you, Iowa. You know, they said this day would never come. But on this January night, at this defining moment in history, you have done what the cynics said we couldn't do.
Sometimes Barack Obama is John F. Kennedy. Sometimes he's Martin Luther King. Sometimes he's Stokely Carmichael in 1968.
Hope is what led me here today. With a father from Kenya, a mother from Kansas, and a story that could only happen in the United States of America. Hope is the bedrock of this nation. The belief that our destiny will not be written for us, but by us, by all those men and women who are not content to settle for the world as it is.
If you listen to his speeches, change, hope, I mean, it's an empty mantra. I mean, surprising degree of emptiness, of lack of specificity. What change? Change from what to what? What direction do you want to take the country? What do you mean by hope?
We came all the way here to capture this on film.
Awesome.
This victory.
This is the year to do it.
We came all the way from Texas.
And I came all the way from California. But I knew this was going to happen. That's why I'm here.
We all knew.
We had to make this happen.
Right, we knew.
Oh my God, I'm totally on a high now because of course, now the work really begins. see, the thing is, this isn't by accident.
No.
This is not by accident.
This was meant to be.
It is.
It was meant to be. There was a higher force in
That's
place.
how I feel about this.
Clever campaign strategists are writing a new language every 4 years. What if this turns into a vicious manipulation?
Where are you from? What are you doing?
California. I'm following my heart in Iowa, trying to make a change, trying to make a difference, do what I believe in, and bring it all to you. So I'm giving up everything I got going everywhere else in the world because I believe in what's happening right now, right here in this movement. And I am believing in November that there will be change in this country. I feel like this is very special what we're doing, going into Chicago.
Fired up, ready to go. Headquarters.
All right.
Obama headquarters. Let's go down.
When did you shave your head, man? You look so sharp. You do it there?
I went to a Republican barber. Check this out, man. There was this woman. She said, "Oh, I'm a Republican, but I like Obama. I like Obama."
L train, and that's the Obama headquarters right there, heart of downtown Chicago.
So how many blocks?
Chi-Town, Windy City, 10 blocks
That's
from
Obama
here.
headquarters. All right.
That floor with that blue flag, you know the lights are on. You know they're working 24 hours a day in the Barack Obama headquarters. This is about the campaign to change the world, and right there in front of you, Barack Obama headquarters. What does this mean? Is Barack corporate? There's some art in there. Is there corporate hope in there too?
My heart wants to believe that Obama as president can make a difference.
Come on, bounce, man. Bounce. Here we go. Friday night.
As I drove past the Capitol, it seemed almost unthinkable that one day Obama could become president. To get a fresh perspective, I got some academic backing.
So tell me again, your research paper is on Obama's foreign policy, right?
Right.
So how far have you come in the research, and what are you working on at the moment?
Essentially looking at all of the different variables that go into what constitutes a foreign policy. I think he's a transitional figure in the sense that he's between the baby boomers and the hip hoppers. And he represents kind of a generation that sees itself as having benefited from the civil rights movement and been the recipient of the gains that the civil rights movement made, but is not beholden to the civil rights movement in that sense. What I would like to see him do, which is I thought John Edwards was pretty much the only candidate really dealing with, is to address the economic issues that are facing millions in this country who have been marginalized and excluded.
Do you think Obama sees himself in the tradition of other Afro-American leaders?
Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that he acknowledges that he stands on the shoulders of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, other black leaders, but he also very much and has been very careful to also see himself to some degree as broader than that.
How critical the economical and political situation in the US had become was unclear to me. My twisted Afro-German self remained highly alert. I didn't want to become too optimistic.
Actually, I created the piece a month after he announced his run for the presidency.
Okay.
The title of this piece is called The Audacity of Hope, from his book. And I guess the idea of someone being this serious about being the first president, or black president in the United States is, like I said, a sticky situation. And this title here comes from this album from Fela Kuti, which is also called Black President.
And you like the title?
Yeah, I just thought about it just my own perspective. What does it mean to me, and what he's doing? And I saw the actual portrait on the internet, and most pictures I saw of him were him smiling. He was smiling all the time, but he's contemplating his future or the future of our nation. And someone made a reference almost like one of those like propaganda like posters you see from China or Russia. And so it just has this very statesman-like look to it.
I wonder if this Yes We Can virus is infecting my body and allowing me to dream again.
Yes, yo. The man is back. Fired up.
Unquoted.
Ready to go, man.
To go and fired up. Yes.
All
South
right.
Carolina, sunny day.
Tons of them when we're out there tonight. Tons of them are here today just going to vote, making phone calls, bussing around. The goal right now, what is they're on board with is knock on every door. This is the grounds. This is where they've set up their makeshift headquarters, right? In the lobby of the student union. It's a Saturday, not so much other stuff going on. You should have seen this 2 days ago, right? I mean, Friday, during the weekday, this place is just packed out of their mind. That's where they've been doing their main canvassing, their main passing out of flyers and whatever. I was here yesterday just dropping flyers left and right. And because people are at lunch, they're willing to hear, they're willing to talk, and they're amazingly receptive. Young people, I've never seen them so receptive for one candidate. What's just that? Okay. A couple people.
Okay, go in, go in.
That's good. That's good. Okay.
You been doing this for a while?
Too long.
Too long.
Oh, I gotta take it out of this?
I'm sorry. I'm fired up. Take it off, right? You get students at this one and everything?
Only doing a general election.
Right.
Getting a lot of students. But
Okay.
city elections, no.
Right.
This is what you would call a predominant Republican ward.
Right.
They look like it's Democratic.
Right.
And
Okay.
I think the students are making a difference. Are you a student?
I am, yeah. That's the most of the people coming out here I know are students. So.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from California.
Obama for president!
Getting 54% of South Carolina, Obama getting 66%.
But it's happening because Obama is bringing new people into the party, younger people, independents, Republicans who want to change, and that's what we're going to need to do to win a general election. And we're going to continue, by the way, to draw that kind of vote on February 5th.
College students, we support you. College students, we're voting for you. College students are pushing you, Obama. We look at you and you inspire us.
To see widespread youth support was uplifting. At first, my cynical self did not believe in those youngsters. I thought they were just out there to party. Obama's message now had grassroots support.
Down around the corner.
And every place, California, every place in the West and in the Southwest, the message was the same. We want hope, we want change, and we have a candidate with Barack Obama that can do it. He's going to win.
They sent out emails saying, oh, you know, he's a Muslim. You know, which, first of all, is an insult to Muslims. Second of all, I've been in the same church for the last 20 years praising Jesus. They say I don't pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, for which it stands. One nation. All right, you get the idea. If I'm the nominee, and John McCain's the nominee, then John McCain won't be able to say to me, well, you voted for that war too, because I didn't. He won't be able to say, well, you went along with George Bush's policy on Iran, because I haven't.
NYC loves Hillary. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
We're really impressed. Bring the troops home. 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 Do the right wing. Bring the troops home.
I was challenged by this energy and started to listen more carefully. I had to distinguish my past experience from what was happening in the streets all over the US.
But you know what I feel? I feel we need a president who more or less believe in God, and you know, would seek God to get the right information how to go about life. But I would like to have a president who we can address the nation and, you know, cry out to the people and encourage the people to serve God. I would love to have a president like that. Just like a prophet. I mean a man, a real man of God, who you know, who could lead the people to do what is right.
A righteous man.
A righteous man. To God be the glory, man. Great things he has done.
A great gentle rights
I came here thinking that I would be, you know, director of all Latino outreach, and in a way, you know, that's what I've been. You know, this campaign is one paid staffer in this whole state. You know, the rest of us just volunteers, just pouring our hearts into it. I mean, I just remember seeing on the front page of the USA Today when I was with my family over Christmas how the next 30 days were to define this election.
That's right, Barack Obama.
I have, like, I feel sick to my stomach, you know? Like, this is so heavy, I was just saying. You know, there's days where you feel like throwing in the towel. There is, and that's tough, you know? And that's real. I'm tired, you know? It's been a dogfight. Packed in there, huh? Mike Huckabee. So this is meaningful too. This affects the world. Reports are just pouring in from all over. Obama just won Connecticut. You saw it. You know, Huckabee's winning though too. I mean, it's right now. It's still a confusion of who wins what or who won what.
We know that what began as a whisper has now swelled to a chorus that cannot be ignored, that will not be deterred, that will ring ring out across this land as a hymn that will heal this
Can the reservoir of our dreams ever run dry, or are we born with it? If that dream was stolen, is it the American dream that needs to be resurrected?
I want to know that you guys are doing something to move the needle, because the needle tonight got moved in so many states that we got more delegates and we got more states than Senator Clinton. This is our time. This is our generation. There is no individual in my lifetime, and perhaps in your lifetimes, that is going to motivate the way this man is motivated, that is going to transcend the way this man is transcended. This is our time.
So what's the plan from here? What's the present future?
It's the next day. It's the next day. From here we go to Texas. From here we go to DC. From here the movement grows.
Our time has come. Our movement is real. And change is coming to America.
When I started using words and phrases from the campaign in private conversations, I figured out something was going on with me. I needed to speak to people in my hometown about what they think about Obama's hope.
Also ich glaube auf jeden Fall, dass er besser sein wird als Bush so.
Am Anfang war für mich ein bisschen so, ich dachte, ja, Hillary ist voll Favorit und so, aber jetzt ist ein bisschen, die Ding hat sich geändert und jetzt glaube ich, dass so Obama wird bestimmt gewinnen.
Nee, ich finde das ganz gut, dass auch mal ein, in Anführungszeichen, farbiger da die Nation repräsentiert.
And for us too, you know, for outside we say also waiting to make a change, waiting for somebody to make a change.
Barack Obama wird gewinnen, das glaube ich.
Wenn es klappen würde und ich dachte, es gibt irgendwie aber so viele Hindernisse, also wenn das klappt, irgendwie, dann ist es irgendwie wirklich ein Wunder, also es muss ein Wunder sein.
Ja, ich finde das gut. Der ist doch aus einfachen Verhältnissen, hat der sich gut geschafft. Und wenn er sowas schon schafft und dann für Präsidentschaftskandidat werden will.
Dieses Happy End und dieses, jetzt kommt ein Schwarzer und ein Junger und Frischer, also das glaube ich, das wäre so à la Hollywood und das würde zu den USA passen.
Ich weiß nur, dass er der erste schwarze Linkspräsident wäre dann. Ja. Und ich denke mal, das wäre für die Schwarzen in Amerika ein sehr großer Segen.
Ja, so, ich wünsche Barack Obama viel Glück. Danke. Black is beautiful.
My connection to the ideas of Obama started when I listened to my mother's blues and jazz records as a child. Growing up as the only black kid in a dysfunctional white German family might have produced self-doubts as a teenager. My school teachers made me collect money to free Angela Davis from jail. I fell in love with her big afro when I saw her picture with the president on TV. The communist comrades had better ideas for us and sent an agent to spy on my mother. He forced her to divorce my father and moved in with us. I was growing into a rebellious teenager with a new passion, theater. Reading Shakespeare, I was plotting mad revenge. To be or not to be was the question. I left home at 17 after being accepted to study acting at the National Film School. East Berlin in the 80s was full of bohemian subversion and political resistance. I dreamed of a different way to live my life. After refusing to serve as an officer in the East German Army, I got kicked out of film school. I pondered how to escape without being shut down and cut off from family and friends. I got married to an artist friend from Holland in order to leave the country legally. Many of my friends feared an escalation of violence. 2 weeks before the Berlin Wall crumbled, I got permission to leave East Berlin. The global free market economy, with its strong competition, had brought high levels of unemployment, xenophobia, and gentrification to my neighborhood. To become a victim in a racist German society was not an option. I traveled the world. I worked in different countries and learned new languages. I visited my father and his extended family. They treated me as a long-lost son who had finally come home. But I had dreams of becoming a filmmaker and moved to London. When I returned to my neighborhood, I got involved with building a cyber network for the Black community. A new generation had grown up, keeping the dream of a better world alive. In 2008, I was granted permission from the German government to read my Secret Service files. The hope snatchers of my past had come back to haunt me. I installed a dream catcher for the future, and I realized that the audacity of hope had become a central part of our lives. I think my grandmother would have agreed. The victory column was once a Nazi symbol for military victories during the Prussian Wars. It also featured in Wim Wenders' film Wings of Desire as being a place where angels congregate. I was sure that some of the 200,000 Berliners secretly dreamed that Obama was one of those angels. Europe was in Obama fever, and Berlin was the gate to his success. According to polls, more than 50% of German citizens favored Obama as a new American president.
Okay, Obama, I like him because we have a problem in Germany. We have no migration here, yeah? That's our problem, really, man. You see, I'm not German. You see it in my eyes? I'm not German. I was born here, yeah? I'm German, but I can't say it. They don't believe me, the German, that I'm a German guy. Yeah, but I'm really German guy. Huh? I'm more German, I think, than the Germans.
I heard my grandmother chuckle in her grave and thought, 70 years ago, under Hitler, a person like Obama would have probably been killed, deported, or sterilized for daring to speak in public.
Oui, nous le pouvons, avec Obama.
This speech had a historic dimension for my family, redeeming our ancestors' painful memories and committed crimes.
I come to Berlin as so many of my countrymen have come before. This city, of all cities, knows the dream of freedom. When you, the German people, tore down that wall, a wall that divided East and West, freedom and tyranny, fear and hope, walls came tumbling down around the world. People of Berlin and people of the world, the scale of our challenge is great. The road ahead will be long. But I come before you to say that we are heirs to a struggle for freedom. Let us remember this history and answer our destiny and remake the world once again. Thank you, Berlin.
Africa, America.
Obama! Obama!
Yes, we can.
Oh, yes, we can.
Fired up, ready to go. Step it in.
Yeah.
I am the man on the border who gets scrutinized by security forces, staring back with silent contempt. An insider who knows how to deal with white guilt and the promise of black redemption.
Barack, as you know, was raised by a young single mother who put herself through school while trying to raise Barack and his sister. Money was often so tight that sometimes they had to resort to food stamps. And Joe's parents raised 4 children on one salary in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And every night for the 35 years that he's been a senator in the United States, Joe takes the Amtrak train from Washington back to Wilmington to be
Well, here I'm working as a volunteer through the Obama campaign for the DNC.
Yeah.
When I go back, I'm going to be helping out with the office like I did the last time. As a matter of fact, I've coordinated a speech watching party in Oakland. What I'm doing is, it's called press distribution. We are actually getting the speeches, distributing the speeches to them as they come in off of the teleprompter. They're formatted. So it's really neat. It's really neat because there's just so much going on. It's kind of like a whirlwind, and then the evening is over. And a lot of people think that I'm supporting Barack Obama because he's a black man. The fact that he's a black man is simply the icing on the cake. I've been to states that normally I would never travel to, have no interest in going to. It's like, how could you not want to get involved? How could you not want to make a difference?
George Bush is closer to Hitler. Because George Bush knowingly lied to you and to me and to our representatives.
Let's declare together in one voice, right here, right now, that Barack Obama is our candidate. There you go. There you go.
No, I don't think it's destroyed the ideal that he's presented of hope. I think it can bring us that hope, and I think that he's well on the way to doing it.
He did it. Yes, we can. He is the nominee of the Democratic Party.
It's called 2 tickets for the Pepsi Center tonight. That would be the VP nomination process and the floor vote to nominate and to vote for, yes, Barack Obama.
We must stay indefinitely, or should we listen to Barack Obama?
Whether our Judeo-Christian culture and value system can deliver change remains questionable. Wasn't this culture the root of the problem in the first place?
It was just that when I began. It was just a glimpse and a glimmer of hope when I began. And now the seeds have been planted and the tree is starting to blossom. This is the thing, my family's a Republican.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Now bring it home.
Bring it home. But I texted my mom last night or 2 nights ago and said, hey, did you see Michelle on Monday? And she said, you know it, what a cute dress.
Recorded, written down by, yet we are not impeaching.
Yes, I love this town. So fun. It's like Sundance. It's like the Sundance of politics, right? These are the ones staying next door to us. It's that drummer.
can. Come on, Bob. Tell him you can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Thank you. We love you. We're the People's Party. That's Genesis Ian. Enjoy the convention. Thank you for having us, Denver. Get a CD. It's all on a donation basis. Help yourselves. It's right here at the table with that.
To be honest with you, the only disappointment that I have with the campaign is the lack of diversity within the campaign. You know, Barack does not have a large amount of staff. There's not a very, very, very small percentage of black staff. Out of about 60 to 65 volunteers, there were four of us were black. I don't think it's because there aren't people that are wanting to participate. I think it's because there are a lot of them that are not being invited in. I really devoted many months and neglected my business for many months. And so I'm now trying to balance the two.
What are the hopes that you have for your children? I know you have a son.
Well, I'm hoping that he can live in this country where he's not judged by his color, but he's judged by his character and who he is.
The election of a black presidential candidate allows Americans to redeem their racist past. It opens a debate about a collective trauma that started more than 400 years ago. Certainly, no speech can deliver a solution to past crimes. But if healing starts now, then future generations can continue. Can we overcome the dark side of human nature through party affiliations or the legislation of future presidents? A religious hope circled through the stadium and transformed it into a dream space. Obama can become a symbol, a brand, advertising fresh solutions to old dilemmas on giant billboards.
Are only here tonight because we were given a chance at an education. And I will not settle for an America where some kids don't have that chance.
Billboards are plastered over with new products every week.
And mutual responsibility. That's the essence of America's promise.
Is the empire crumbling or gaining strength?
I'd like to see us understand that a victory on November 4th is only going to be the beginning of a new level of struggle, and that it's going to be absolutely necessary to keep reminding Obama of who he really is and on what he really stands on, and then in love with him, in compassion, in collaboration with him, then go on to keep working to insist that America live up to its best possibilities.
If Obama can pacify the hunger for resources and the cowboy mentality of the American empire, he will propel a cultural and spiritual paradigm shift.
You were straight from the beginning?
I was straight for Obama. Yeah, I'm straight for Obama. I never went Hillary. No matter if she was a female or what, I saw him in Montana, speaking to the tribe there, and it truly looks like he will. And with all the tribal leaders that he met with, and I think, I think he knows. I really do. I think he's just like one of us.
I'm of the generation that witnessed the first interracial kiss on the movie screen, you know, or the first interracial kiss on TV. And, you know, for me to have seen the changes I've seen, I mean, it's just a really beautiful thing. Jamal, however, you know, is a post-racial kid. Well, it's funny, Jamal doesn't get it. He doesn't, it really doesn't register with him yet what it means what it means even at this point for Obama to have just received the nomination for the Democratic Party. He's 12. Right, he's 12. I mean, I think he's already of the mindset that he can accomplish anything he wants, but man, if Obama becomes president, I mean...
No big deal.
He doesn't have any excuse for not achieving anything.
Well, I don't know very much, but he seems pretty cool. I think he's going to be a good leader for our country. And yep, I keep learning new stuff about him every day. I hope he's going to give a little bit more money to schools for like better basketball jerseys, better desks.
Maybe more teachers, right?
Yeah, more teachers. All right,
Love you, yeah. Have a good week in school.
Okay, love you. Have a safe trip.
Thanks. Now walk through the fart cloud.
Okay, see ya.
I think as Obama addressed this in his speech in July in Berlin, Jamal too will identify probably more as a citizen of the world than as strictly an American.
So do you think Obama will make it against McCain?
Yeah, actually I do. Yeah, ultimately I think goodness will prevail.
This whole area around here is Grant Park, all of this.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is where the big Obama event is going to be.
Oh, this is here?
Yeah.
This is Grant Park?
Yeah.
Oh.
We're going to find where Barack Obama lives, and we just got the address, and you'll take a couple of scenes of that area.
Police is there. That is
right
the
there.
road.
There it is.
Yeah. Well, drive further down and then we walk back.
Yeah.
There it is.
All right. You guys just hanging out as well, checking Obama's house? So what do you...
I just want to show my daughter, you know.
Oh, okay, what's your name?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, did you see Obama's house though?
Yes.
So what do you think? Is he gonna win tomorrow?
Yes.
Are you excited?
Yes.
I think he's gonna get it.
I think he's gonna get it in a landslide.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get it. It will be a dream come true, not just for the blacks, but
for the whole world.
For the whole world, you know, it's something, you know. It's like people never. When you hear White House, it's just for the white guys, you know. It's just keep your hope up. You can make it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I thought about how changing consumption patterns would be impossible for my generation. The privileges that come with my Western lifestyle are too seductive. What if we start thinking beyond the American dream?
Welcome to election night at Grant Park. Ticket holders, please proceed to your right on the south ramp of Congress Parkway. Non-ticket holders, please proceed to your left on the north ramp of Congress Parkway.
It's all because you encouraged me to do this, man. I'm glad I pushed through.
We're about 2 2 hours away from knowing all of the election results. We're very excited. It looks like Indiana is going to go for Obama. We're ready to go. Okay.
Show us quickly why we haven't called Pennsylvania.
Because we don't have any votes. There is a white outline of the state of Pennsylvania. And Campbell, we could go back in the primaries. There are a couple of examples. Missouri comes to mind as one of them, where others, there are competitors. We love them dearly. We're not in a
Is this U.S. election another betrayal of hope? A compensation for lack of deeper religious and spiritual values?
Exit polls in Georgia. 4% of the precincts have reported McCain.
Can we rescue the economical and ecological disaster of so many generations? Can Obama repair the wrong choices of previous rulers?
Where he especially did well were white
Yes, we can. That really got an enormous amount of play. How did you come up with that? How did that happen?
Well, when inspiration calls, you know, you answer it. And I was inspired by Barack Obama's speech in New Hampshire. And what I wanted to do is I wanted teachers to teach that speech in the school.
I have to admit that this night reconfirmed my belief in the humanity of the American people.
If there is anyone out there who still doubts that America is a place where all things are possible, who still wonders if the dream of our founders is alive in our time, who still questions the power of our democracy, tonight is your answer.
Go-Bama! Yes, we can! That is so cool.
I have come to reaffirm our enduring spirit, to choose our better history, to carry forward and pressure.
On my last journey, I was not cynical any longer. I had listened to people's hearts and their desire to be better human beings.
These elders that I have just named willed you here, that by their power and by their struggle and by their conviction, you are the evidence of what they could not see and the hope that they ultimately believed in.
Hit the road, Bush. Hit the road. I'm back. Yeah.
But you know there's a helicopter right there, and it's on the Jumbotron, and all of a sudden it takes off, and it passes directly over your head.
Yeah, it passed over us. Yeah, we were all applauding it. It's just an exuberating feeling, you know. I mean, I feel really excited, but I don't feel like it's the epilogue. I really feel that it's the beginning. It's just the beginning.
Some things that would, you know, it was a paradigm shift. It felt, and it is for this whole city and for this whole country, you know, as the city emblematic of the country.
I mean, I know people are seeing Barack as the great hope of the world, which he is in so many ways, but he's not a miracle maker. It's not going to happen overnight. He's trying to prepare people. There's going to be a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot of work to be done. Yeah.
And will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
So help you God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Yes, we did! Yes, we did! Yes, we did! Yes, we did!
Yeah. Go!
New possibilities echoed through the loops of time. Is this the debugging of failed hopes and dreams? It felt like something had lifted the ghosts of the past The liberation might be a spiritual process, powered by courage and the will to act. I felt connected to people, ready for global change.